What's going on, guys? My name's Spence,
And I'm Mitch.
and we're two brothers that really love King of the Hill. And today we are talking about an episode I am extremely excited to review. This one is one of my favorite episodes of all time because it introduces my personal favorite King of the Hill character of all time. If I hadn't made it clear already throughout the series, Dale Gribble's my man. I love Dale Gribble. He is one of my all-time favorite characters in any media ever. He is just a classic. And of course, rest in peace, his actor, Johnny Hardwick. We will never see the likes of him again.
So you might not be hearing too much from me this episode.
Because you're not as big a Dale fan as I am.
I love Dale and everything, but I'm just going to let you run with this one.
All right. I was going to ask, in terms of the King of the Hill hierarchy, I'm assuming Hank is your favorite character, right?
For sure.
For me, it goes Dale, Boomhauer, Hank, and then Bill's way at the bottom. Not the biggest Bill guy.
I transitioned from Boomhauer into Hank, though,
Okay.
as
Yeah.
I became an adult. Really
Something.
appreciate him a lot more.
Yeah, you definitely appreciate him a lot more as you age.
And it made
And-
me appreciate my dad a lot more, too. This is a great scene, though.
Yes, where Bill talks him out of switching the grass.
You don't want to win that way.
And we really get a picture into how much Hank loves his lawn, how much Hank values having a well-manicured lawn. He sees it as a point of pride, and not just that, he sees it as, believe he even straight up says it, like a sign of competence, like a well-groomed lawn is a sign that someone put together lives at this place.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true. And honestly, it's a lot harder than it looks.
I've been trying for years.
Yeah, it's not like my lawn's a mess or anything, but there's definitely improvements that could be made. And I find myself falling short. The main sort of antagonism of the episode is Hank's lawn versus Hank's loyalty to Dale, to be specific, because we learn that Dale has been spraying Hank's lawn for years for the princely sum of, what was it, $2, I believe?
I think that's what it was. Yeah, $2 a week.
$2 a week. He sprays his lawn, and Peggy gives that it might be Dale that is causing Hank's lawn not to be as lush as his neighbor Con's. But this scene in particular, I love because it highlights not just something great between Hank and Dale, but in society at large.
These fire ants are well organized, highly trained insects. They'll swarm all over you and sting you all at once without warning on a single command. It's how they killed L. Ron Hubbard.
Oh, Dale, fire ants don't sting you all at once. Half of them bite, the other half are on defense.
That's not true.
I don't know, man. Hank's man. He knows that dang old Hank's man.
What are you guys listening to Hank for? I have dedicated my professional career to the study and control of arthropods. I have personally taste tested each and every household insecticide. I have read a book. Now, who do you believe, me or Hank?
Man, old Hank more believable.
Where Dale is actually 100% correct here when it comes to fire ants. Although he is not correct. Fire ants did not kill L. Ron Hubbard. I looked that up. I have no idea where the hell that came from. But anyway, he's 100% correct. That's how fire ants attack their prey. A signal is sent out for all the soldiers to attack at the same time. So they'll swarm over the target. And then once they have enough ants at the target, they'll attack all at once. And Hank says that half of them play defense, right? He's totally off the mark. He has no idea what he's talking about when it comes to fire ants.
He compares them to a football game.
Exactly. He compares it to a football game. He compares it to what he knows. But because Hank is a credible, put-together guy, the guys believe Hank over Dale, who, on the other hand, is much less credible and much less put together. Although I do think the guys should give him some credit because Dale did read a book.
And he is a career exterminator.
Yeah, it's true. You should at least hope that whatever someone specializes in, they would be an expert.
Yeah, for sure. Over old Hank.
Yeah, but I think Dale's his own worst enemy in that sense because he always manages to shoot up his own credibility.
This is how I buy tools too. I got to be very picky.
Nowadays, there's more choices than ever, although the quality is more uneven than ever as well.
Oh, for sure. $1.25 a square foot. I wonder what that amounts to in today's dollars.
It seems like Hank is really shelling up the big bucks to put his lawn over the top. And you know what? I can respect it. I don't know about you. It's hard not to appreciate a man wanting to spend a little bit extra on something that's his hobby and that really means a lot to him.
Oh, for sure. And my wife has definitely put up with a lot of that with me buying endless tools and equipment.
One of the reasons I love this episode in particular, because it shows just the absolute depths of depravity that Dale will go to prove the pettiest of points. And that's why I think it does such a good job in setting up his character. And we see him sabotaging his good friend's lawn just because he fired him as his exterminator by putting fire ants and planting fire ants in his lawn. And I don't know about you, I sometimes struggle to figure out why Hank still sticks with Dale and some of his other friends, like why he's so loyal to him. If somebody did this to me, I would have a very tough time forgiving them.
I would absolutely slip out. And I don't know if Hank's ever throttled Dale behind the scenes or not.
Oh, he probably has. He's probably.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Actually, probably isn't the worst that Dale does to Hank either.
Yeah, exactly. This is only the first, right? This is the first
Yeah.
introduction.
Did you look into that? Is that true too?
Oh, I should look into that.
This is exactly what those environmentalists should be spending their time on. Finding ways to use nature against other forms of nature that are inconvenient to man.
Yeah, this is the secondary story I always thought was really weird for this episode.
Yeah, if anything, it just drags it down. And
I think so.
Yeah, it's the weakest part of this episode. And it also makes no sense at all.
It's like a flashback from Beavis and Butthead. How could Hank not know better than to do that, though? That's a bit bizarre.
No kidding, eh? What do you think is going to happen? You understand that they live under the ground, but maybe that just shows how little he actually knows about ants. Hank immediately notices the loss in credibility with his lawn. Now that his lawn is gone, nobody will take him seriously anymore.
Dale has the smug look on his face.
He's enjoying his destruction. And of course, it's a great reversal here because now Dale is the one talking nonsense. Hank has to come begging to Dale for help. But really, he was just holding out for $2 extra.
He keeps blowing his smoke in Hank's face, which is pretty rude.
Yeah, and that's something that he will actually avoid, right? If you pay attention, that he will avoid blowing smoke in people's faces that he does respect. Like, particularly, he blows a lot of smoke in Bill's face, like, a lot of the time.
I've noticed that too, and I noticed that quite recently.
And that's what makes King of the Hill a great show now. God, it's almost 30 years. Yeah, fucking almost 30 years since the show aired. And still people are finding new layers to it. Now Hank's lawn is devastated. It's a literal desert.
Dale nuked it, didn't he?
Basically, yeah, he nuked it with way too much poison and completely destroyed it. You could put yourself in a position that someone ruins something that is your greatest hobby, that you put a ton of your energy and affection into, and they just destroy it completely.
Absolutely.
Oh, now Bobby is still working for the ants because in our bizarre B plot, the ant queen has used her pheromones to basically infect Bobby. And now Bobby is taking her command and feeding them sugar because that's
regurgitating it like a bird.
Yeah. Useless ant fact. The workers will go and they'll take the food and they'll put it in their stomachs and they'll come back to the people at the nest and they'll regurgitate it into them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They got a whole system figured out. This is so stupid of Dale. Why would he keep evidence? Why does he need a model of the Hill House? But then again, I guess that is within Dale's character to really dramatize his schemes. And he keeps the fire ant queens for some reason. Dozens and dozens of fire ant queens.
Keeps them all in separate jars.
The thing is, if he put them all into one big tank, they'd all fight each other, right? They'd all kill each other until there's one queen left, and then that would be the ruler.
Unreal.
Now we have the crux of the episode where Peggy rats out Dale, which of course she should. And Hank learns that it was Dale's sabotage all along.
I think that Hank actually underreacts.
No kidding. Unfortunately, this is just the weakest part of
So weird.
It is so weird how it's like entirely contrived to give Dale some sort of redemption to make him
Yeah,
at least
for sure.
give him some way to bring him back into the episode without being completely hated by everybody.
Ouch.
Dale?
Mr. Gribble?
Dale, no!
The first thing and only thing Dale wants to know is if anything was inserted into him.
That's the first thing I always ask too.
Poor Hank fantasizing about his lost lawn.
I was just gonna say that. Watching it, and it's on the green.
It's on the green.
Beautiful.
It's on the
So green and soothing.
We literally have them ripping off It's a Wonderful Life.
Everybody pitches in to help out.
Yeah, Boomhauer literally calls him like dang old Jimmy Stewart. The ending is just, it's weird. And everything about this is weird. All right, so let's wrap it up. But what do you think about this one, Mitch?
Oh, it's gonna go with the 7 again.
Oh, you think it's a 7? I give it a 9. This is
A 9? Whoa.
Yeah, this is a 9 episode for me. And the reason is because it demonstrates what Dale is really capable of early on.
What's the lesson?
The lesson of this one is you never know what your crazy next door neighbor is capable of.
That's a
I
good
guess.
one. That's actually a good one to remember, and it's come into my life several times.
But yeah, it's not so much the lesson here, it's that it really paints the picture of what Dale's character is like and what we can expect for him going forward in the series. I think better than any other character introduction episode. It just absolutely nails it out of the park. And I'd give it a 10 if it wasn't for the crappy ending.
The weird Bobby story.
Thank you guys for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Peggy.
How could you do it? How could you plant fire ants on our lawn?
I'm denying that. That's my position.
Dale, you wrote it on this map. 3 a.m., planted ants.
If all you're going on is my confession, forget it. I'm simply not credible.